Miwa's magical journey to Egypt. On a sunny afternoon, Miwa was in her room, flipping through souvenirs she had brought back from England. Suddenly, her eyes were drawn to a postcard depicting the ancient Egyptian pyramids. Curiously, she picked up the postcard and gazed at it, seeing the pyramids shimmering in the sunlight, mysterious and ancient. Just then, her magical parrot friend Zephyr flew to her side, equally captivated by the postcard. Zephyr excitedly said, "Miwa, did you know? The pyramids of Egypt are one of the wonders of the ancient world. They are full of history and mystery." Miwa's eyes sparkled immediately. She excitedly asked, "Really, Zephyr? Can we go see Egypt?" Zephyr nodded and said, "Of course, let's start our next journey through time and space." No sooner had Zephyr spoken than Miwa and Zephyr were surrounded by a mysterious light, embarking on their Egyptian adventure. Their first stop was the magnificent Giza pyramid complex. The towering pyramids shone with a serene glow in the sunlight, as if traversing through thousands of years. Miwa and Zephyr approached the pyramids, feeling the ancient air between the stones. They cautiously entered the interior of the pyramids, discovering intricate chambers and corridors. The walls were inscribed with hieroglyphs and exquisite bas-reliefs, telling stories of ancient Egypt. Zephyr explained the secrets of the pyramid's construction, how thousands of workers spent decades building these wonders. Miwa listened in amazement to their purpose as the tombs of the Egyptian pharaohs and their importance in ancient Egyptian culture. Exploring the pyramids, Miwa felt the greatness of the pharaohs and the wisdom of this ancient civilization. Next, they visited the Karnak Temple in Luxor. This ancient temple, with its immense scale and intricate architectural details, was awe-inspiring. Miwa was amazed by the huge columns and statues in the temple, feeling as if she had entered another world. Each column was intricately carved with patterns and hieroglyphs, telling myths and legends of ancient Egypt. The temple walls were filled with bas-reliefs of gods and pharaohs, each a piece of history. Guided by Zephyr, Miwa learned about the stories of Egyptian deities such as the sun god Ra, the sky goddess Nut, and the god of wisdom Thoth. She learned about their place in the hearts of ancient Egyptians and the impact of religious beliefs on ancient Egyptian society. In exploring the Karnak Temple, Miwa was deeply attracted by the depth and richness of this ancient civilization, curious about every detail. Her heart was filled with awe for ancient Egypt and a desire to explore the unknown world. On the banks of the Nile, Miwa and Zephyr found a beautifully crafted traditional sailboat, ready to sail along this ancient and great river. As the boat gently set off, navigating the winding river, fertile fields and palm-dotted villages on both sides made Miwa feel the central role of the Nile in Egyptian history and culture. Zephyr began to tell the story of the Nile. It explained that the Nile, one of the longest rivers in the world, has been the life source of Egyptian civilization since ancient times. The annual flooding brought fertile silt, enriching the land on either side of the river, sustaining the agricultural life of the ancient Egyptians. Without the nourishment of the Nile, there would be no glorious Egyptian civilization. Zephyr also mentioned that the Nile's importance extends far beyond its geographical significance. As one of the cradles of human civilization, the Nile has left a profound imprint in history, art, religion, and literature. It has witnessed countless historical events and inspired numerous artistic creations. At this point, Zephyr spoke of a novel called Death on the Nile by the British author Agatha Christie. This detective novel, set on the Nile, narrates a murder mystery on a luxury liner. Zephyr explained that the novel is not only a classic of detective literature, but also showcases the mystery and allure of the Nile. When Zephyr mentioned Death on the Nile, a sparkle of interest appeared in its eyes. "This book is not only a captivating mystery," said Zephyr, "but it also unfolds on a luxurious riverboat featuring a series of complex and fascinating characters. Among them, the smart detective Hercule Poirot unravels a perplexing murder mystery." Miwa was captivated by this story, imagining herself solving historical puzzles like a detective, further igniting her interest in the Nile and Egyptian history. As the sailboat slowly moved forward, Miwa immersed herself in the long history and culture of the Nile. She felt the deep connection between the Egyptians and the river and its significant role in Egyptian and world history. At the end of this wonderful journey, Miwa stood on the banks of the Nile, gazing at the golden desert and distant pyramids. Her heart was filled with reverence for the ancient Egyptian civilization and longing for future adventures. Zephyr softly said to her, "Dear Miwa, every journey is a new educational and exploratory adventure. Let's continue our journey through time and space." Miwa nodded, knowing that this was just the beginning of her and Zephyr's exploration of the world's wonders. She began dreaming of her next destination, her next magical adventure. As night fell, Miwa sat by her window, holding the Egyptian postcard that had inspired the trip. Her gaze pierced through the window, staring at the star-studded night sky. In this serene moment, Miwa's heart was filled with infinite longing for future adventures. She fantasized about traveling to every corner of the world, with each star seemingly telling a story of an unknown realm. Closing her eyes, Miwa smiled, her spirit soaring on wings of dreams, eager for the upcoming adventures.